I wanted to do this album review a long time ago, but I could not do it because I was busy and also I was getting to terms with the album because I'd only listened to 2 songs on this album and I hadn't listened to really any others because I tried to get into it and I couldn't, but I still got it because of those mainly 2 songs. I don't mind being judged on that. I know it's not the best reason to buy a CD, but I think it turned out well because I like other songs on this album and stuff, and I really like the album as a whole. So, as I was saying, I've had to, so I can't really name the songs from this album, so I've kind of had to write everything down. Well, not that I can't name them, but like, when I'm listening to them, I don't look at the names, so I don't know which one is which. Some of the songs kind of bleed into each other, so yeah, it's kind of hard to tell when one stops and one starts. So this album is, oh my god, Skeletal Lamping by Of Montreal. One of my favourite bands I've ever found out in the past year. I found out about them in 2025 because I just decided to listen to the song Gallery Piece and it all kicked off there. So I'm just going to talk about the cover first of all. It comes in this little box thing, and the box thing does have the name on it, but do I like this sort of packaging? Yes and no, because I do like the art on it. Like, I'll show you in a second. It's a whole art book, so I really like that, but is it hard? Is it a bugger to get out of the packaging? Yes, and it's a bugger to get in the packaging as well. So, yeah, but I do like the outside. That's pretty cool. I like the added details. Like, on the regular cover, she doesn't have these vines, but on this cover, she does, which I like. I like all the hissing fauna. I'm gonna call it hissing fauna because I think that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, you got the traditional cover, which you can probably tell the vibe of the album from this. But I do like it. And that's the back. I don't know if have I got that in the right bit? I don't know what these drawings are meant to be representing. Probably couples, but yeah. I do like the art though, by the way. I'm gonna have to go through like each part by itself because usually I would like put it on my bed, but I don't know if I can be really not bothered to do it, but like I can't be bothered to flip the camera around, so we're gonna just do it this way. So there's a track list, and again I do appreciate everything being on with a different font, but it makes it kind of hard to read. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Like, I can't see it on camera really that well, and you can't actually see it well when you're looking at it. Like, I was struggling as I was writing things down. But if you open it up, these are nice drawings. I like this one in particular because it kind of, I think it's meant to be corpses, because they all look like corpses. I like the clothes. People being consumed by a hissing fauna, lovely. And I like this one as well, but again, I don't know what this is meant to be. I don't know whether the white-haired one's meant to be Kevin Barnes himself, like a OC kind of. I don't know. Maybe? It definitely does fit the vibe of the album though, I'm not going to deny that. And then this is the bit where I was like kind of shocked. Am I going to be able to open this up on camera? I would love to show, like, turn it around and show, but like I just, nah. I'm gonna have to get this. Oh god. That's kind of covering the whole face. I like the art on here, obviously. It's all done by his brother. Well, not all done by his brother. There's other artists on here, but it's mostly done by him. Oh god, that just touched my mouth. Oh, okay. I do like all the art, and definitely is telling. It's definitely very maximalistic, and I like that. I like how you can see everything. But that's outside. I think there's different things on each side, but I'll just have to check because I'm not massively sure. let's just say. Oh my god. Again, I have trouble closing this, actually. Is it the same on the other side? Okay, no, I think it's different. It's different! Nice. It looks like this, by the way. That's really nice. I like that better than the other one. I like the darker shades. The darker sort of colours that are being used. Yeah. There's some on the back as well. There's a whole like picture on the back, and I didn't even realise. There's a whole picture on there. It's actually coming from someone. That's all the problem, I suppose. Oh my god, no. I'm gonna have to get this back in. Oh yeah, and there's another problem I have with it. It's like, am I gonna close this over? Oh, I can't close this over. Oh yeah. So, not focusing on the pictures because obviously, like, it's kind of a bugger to fold them all out. Again, wish I could flip the camera around, but can I be asked to do it? No, I can't. So, oh god. You can see a bit of the stuff on here. Obviously, he's credited as the main composer because he is. What I found really funny was there's someone called Alibi Blondes credited, which I think is another name for his daughter, but it's like lyrical help from Alibi Blonde, and she was 4 at the time of this, so I don't really know how she offered lyrical help, but okay. And also, I like the font on the track list. It's not boring. It's very 2008 when this was obviously made in 2008, and it's very telling of that time, to be honest. Also, I like where the CD is actually kept back there, and I like the picture behind it. It's very fun. Also, there's actually a picture on the CD itself. I'll get it now and show. I'll get it now. Oh my god. Again, hate this one with the folding. I don't want to fold this. Oh my god, well, what was they going to show? Oh, the disc itself. I'm gonna get it because I just had it on my TV. Oh yeah, I like the disc itself. You know, it's not like a boring disc. You can definitely say that. But obviously, if you put this face down, it wouldn't really work. I don't know actually. Well, obviously, no disc. I don't think work face down. But I do really like the picture on it. It's obvious that they put a lot of work into this. I'm not sure if this is meant to be Kevin. I think it might be. I don't know if every male character is some kind of Kevin Barnes, or like he's got a persona for this album called Georgie Fruit. So is that meant to be a version of Georgie Fruit? I don't know, honestly. Well, I wouldn't class this as a concept album, but there are like little snippets of lore in it, like little bits where you're like, oh, so it's got a story, but it's not a clear story, or it might just be because I don't listen to the lyrics, because lyrics are kind of hard to hear a little bit. I don't know, but I think we should get on to the actual track list. So it starts out with a song called Non-Parole a Favor, and I just want to say this right now, if I'm mispronouncing any of these titles, tell me, please, because not that I can't read some of these, but I can't really pronounce some of them. I don't know how they're pronounced. So if I make any mistakes, tell me, please. Non-Parallel Favourite is a nice way to start the album. And it's a very honest song. Romantic, very romantic. A lot of the songs on this album, I'm just going to put it out, are romantic. But they sort of add little snippets of like other things like anger, destruction, violence. There we go. Yes, some of them are really, really sad. They don't really fit the vibe, but I guess the vibe is all over the place, just like the album cover. It's very sincere. I like the vocals. If you know anything about like Kevin Barnes' sort of singing voice, you'll know it's sort of very over the top, very artsy. And I like that. And it's a very good like song that establishes this is going to be like quite a fun, whimsical album. And I like the beat as well. The sound is really nice. It's very poppy, but again, you've got that art sort of edge to it, which, to be honest, I don't know whether, I suppose you'd say that like the Sunlandic Twins is more indie pop and this is a little more art pop. I suppose in the other ones, indie pop, you can see them in some of the songs. In some of the songs, it's just like immediately, this is art pop, obviously. It's a nice way to start the album. It's very sincere. I did like the rock sound here. It does have a little bit of an indie rock sound, like a tiny bit in the middle. It has a change of tone. I like the synth. It's very whimsical, very magical. Then we go on to Wicked Wisdom. And it's got very fun vocals and a fun sound. And it's a good romance song. And yeah, this is one is where like you take a turn and it takes more poppy sort of routes. Chorus is really nice. Chorus is very ethereal. I like, how at the end it just changed style. A lot of these just like a sort of emotional roller coaster. They change sort of style at the end, which I really like personally. But it can become a bit confusing, like you're kind of wondering when does this song start, when does that song start. So yeah, I do like how it's changing style. A classic one coming up, a popular one, For Our Elegant Cast. For a long time I thought this was For Our Elegant Castle. I don't know why I saw it as that, but apparently it's not just me. A lot of people saw it as that. So yeah, it's an absolute classic. It's popular, but for a reason. It's a very layered vocal sound, actually. I love the continuation of the chorus throughout. That is a very good chorus. And also, it's very classic beats, kind of classic of Montreal kind of beats. I don't know how to describe that. It is very catchy, but it's very, random, like your random sounds. You kind of like, why is this here? But it's, you're not going to question it because it's really good. And then strong vocals. But I also like, he actually mentions the name of the persona here, which I like. And again, this makes me question if there's some sort of hidden lore. There might be, I don't know. I need someone who's a more long-time fan to say if there's any lore in here. But apparently there is, but I just don't see it. And I actually think the lyrics are kind of meaningful, but they're a little bit random. But I do see a little bit of meaning in them. Like, I see meaning in most of these songs. Like, the lyrics aren't just randomly put together for a reason, but some of them it's more easier to see than others, and some of them it's harder to see. But yeah, pretty good classic of Montreal song. Touch Something's Hollow. It's sad. It's short, it's good, it's sort of a break from all this pop to kind of notify you that this is going to be a sad, emotional roller coaster. Some of the songs will be sad, some of them are going to be happy. I do like this one. Vocals are still really strong and the piano is good. Very melancholic. A strange tone, but I do like it. An Eludrian Instance, I think that's how you say it. / Our Last Summer's Independence. This one actually caught me off guard because there was a lyric in here that was considered really controversial because it included a slur for trans people, which is not very nice. However, he did apologise and it has been removed from other copies of the CD, which is good because I don't like hearing this word. It caught me off guard. I don't like how Georgie Fruit is an African American. It really comes off to me as fetishization and like making it like exotic. Like he couldn't have just been like a cross-dressing prostitute. You had to make him African American. Was it really needed? Is it good? I think he acknowledged that himself because like further donations went to black trans people. So from the new CD, I have an old CD. It's secondhand, so that lyric has not been removed, which is unfortunate. However, it's good he learned from his mistake because I would not. As for the song itself, it's really nice, but it's a really fun song. It goes from a love song to being a very sort of terrifying song at the end. It is cute in some places. However, yeah, it does take a very melancholic, alarming turn. Gallery piece. Another, it's a popular song for a reason. But I've heard people complain about TikTok taking this, but I haven't found anything on TikTok. And probably because I don't look at like fandoms on TikTok because of, I don't know. I don't. I feel like I have a fan superiority complex when it comes to bands. Like I don't like seeing other fans of bands for some reason because it makes me feel insignificant. I don't know. Well, I can't express how much I like this song because it was the first of Montreal song I ever heard. So it's really good and I really love listening to it, but I've also overplayed it accidentally, so it doesn't have the effect that it once had. But I did dedicate this song to actually my girlfriend, so yeah, that's pretty good. It's very bittersweet. I do, the lyrics are kind of contrasted in with, like, you know, I love you, but I'm doing all these terrible things. That is very contrasting, which I like. And the backing vocals are really, really, you know, like magical. And you know, it's like the song that like defines the album. The song is like just defined by this. No, the album is defined by this one song. I feel like people see this album as just this song until I did, but no, it's not. But it's well, I could argue that it is probably the song that defines this album as much. Like gets the vibes into one song. However, is it my favourite? It is my favourite. I've got to admit. Like I went through, first time listening to this album, I went through all the songs in order to listen to this song. Because I was kind of waiting for it, but afterwards I was like, but I have learned to love every single song on this album. Yeah. And the next one is Women Studies Victims, and this one again takes a very melancholic, dark approach. It's very dramatic. It's another one where like the hidden law comes out, but the lyrics are very dramatic, and it's very strong, but it's got some good sounds. Could I remember this one? I do not remember this one, but I only remember the name because it's a very memorable name out of the whole album. But I do like it. It is very dramatic, as I said. But yeah, it's a little bit shocking, a little bit, again, like the tone change, emotional roller coaster. It does carry that. So, Triflus to punctuate. I didn't like this one as much as I thought I would because a lot of people like this one, I think. But I don't like this one. Oh, also, like, I forgot to mention, oh no, I missed out one of them. I missed out St. Exquisite's Confessions. I think that's how it's said. St. Exquisite's Confessions. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's slow, very romantic, but it's a pretty song. The end does change, more beats. It does become like a less slow dance romantic song at the end. It gets more of a beat, which I like. And also I remember this as the one that Kevin sang while he was on a horse, because he did that at one of the concerts. That was really funny because I wasn't really expecting the horse to come out, but he was on there and he was singing the song, and now it's forever in my memory as the song that Kevin sung when he was on a horse. So that's good. Triflus to punctuate. As I continue from Triflus to punctuate, because I was on that. The repeated sound is a nice touch, and definitely like the repeated sounds on this album do sort of polish and define the songs the best. It is a nice touch, as I said. There is nice vocals and a nice sound, and it is very random in some places, like just random sounds thrown in, and I like that. I like the random sounds in some of these songs. They're really nice. I've seen a Bloody Shadow. It's a nice, slow, psychedelic kind of song, but I can't really say much about it because it didn't really grab me. It is powerful, but I don't like it that much, if I'm honest. Like, it doesn't grab me, personally, probably because, like, it's not memorable. Could they have taken it off the album? maybe. If I ever look at unreleased songs, I'll probably see something and be like, why did they add this but take that off? But I haven't listened to any of their unreleased songs, so yeah. Plus it's way fun. Another another popular one. I like the sound of this one, and it's very cute, very sexual, which I actually think adds to the lyrical depth. It is a love song, and one of my favourite love songs. Definitely not one to listen to in public, though. Definitely kind of an embarrassing song to listen to in public, because I have actually listened to this one in public, specifically on a bus, and I was looking out the window like that, because if someone could hear that from my headphones, I would die. But no, I do think it's very cute, but I can't describe the vibe from this one. And I've sat up and tried to describe the vibe. I cannot describe the vibe. I'd say it's early 2015 pop, kind of. I know this was made in 2008, and that probably doesn't make sense. But I'd say it's a little more reminiscent of, say, Innocence Reaches, which is their 2016 album. So, yeah. I didn't mention at the start this was made in 2008. Well, it's made in 2008. There you go. I do like the change of tone at the end. Do I think it drags? A little bit. It does drag a little bit at the end. You'd kind of just want it to stop, but it doesn't stop. But I do like the change at the end, you know. It's a very psychedelic kind of sound. Is it ghostly? Yes, and that kind of sets the tone for the next song, which is Death Isn't a Parallel Move. And I was actually shocked because there is a rap at the start of this song, and I was like, why is there a rap? But the rap does work. Do I wish it was longer? Yes. Is the rest of the song a little bit less memorable? Yes. But I do like it. I do wish it was longer, but it might have, if it was longer it would ruin the tone, because this is a very, slow tone, and the acoustic guitar is really nice and polished. However, yeah, I like the slowness, but a rap probably, the rap carried on would have ruined this slowness, which I don't really want to happen, because, yeah, this is a nice slow one. Beware our nubial miscreants. I think that's how you say it. Again, I'm not sure. Just comment down if I've said anything wrong, because I might have. It's fun. The lyrics are like a massive rant. Like a massive, they go on, and they're basically just a rant about stuff, about a certain person. But then they start taking, law, and again, is there law? There is law to the song. You can hear it in the song. I haven't really sat down and listened to the lyrics properly. Well, I have. But I only got, snippets of the lyrics, and at one point I was like, yeah, this has got law. The lyrics are deep, though, weirdly. Oh god. It does have strong vocals, however, it is upbeat and catchy. And I think the tone at the end turns kind of sad and angry. Ranting about this person, and they get, sad. I think so. But then it does get upbeat again. Maybe representing something, I don't know. Misguidings? I don't know how to... I thought this one was spelled misguidings. But no, it's not spelled like that. Whether it's meant to be pronounced like that, I don't know. It's nice. It has got a nice sound. That's got an overload of sound. There's a lot of sounds overlapped in this one. And the end was strangely, theatrical. A bunch of, you're about to take a bow. The cheers before you take a bow. That one was... I really like the theatrical sound at the end. Because, again, it adds to kind of the fact that this maybe could be a play. I don't know. I do get a kind of play vibe throughout it, though. Maybe it's because of who the persona is. that could be a play, maybe musical, I don't know. I'm not into plays or musicals, so I don't really know. And then we get another classic one, I'd Engager. I don't know whether this is ID Engager or I'd Engager. I don't know which way it's pronounced. And it's another upbeat, memorable song. I saw this get labelled as dance rock on electronic rock on Spotify, and I was like, yeah, it could be electronic rock. Actually, I would say this is probably electronic rock because it's got that sound to it. It's an upbeat, memorable song. Probably because the lyrics are very weird, and then it's good. I was kind of like sitting there, and then the lyric where like he just like goes ninjas, and I was sitting there and being like, why has he just said ninjas out of nowhere? Okay, we can forgive him though. It's Kevin Barnes. He's random. There we go. The chorus is really good. Why was I just trying to think of the chorus? I'm like, oh yeah, the chorus is really good. It's, again, a lot of these songs are bittersweet. It is a bittersweet. I suppose he also plays into the persona in the chorus, which I like. And I like the slow and chill parts as well. Where it sort of gets a little bit more romantic. I like those parts. Chill parts, yeah. The chill parts are really good, like a standout of the song. So, that's the end. What do I think of this album? What would I give it? Dare I say a 9 out of 10? Oh my god, sorry, dare I say a 9 out of 10 for this one? It's probably more fitting. Because, well, I don't know if I like the Sunlandic Twins more. And I will do a review on the Sunlandic Twins. I don't know whether I like the Sunlandic Twins more. But the thing is, the Sunlandic Twins is a little bit more forgettable for me. But I do like slightly the more song on the Sunlandic Twins. It's definitely obvious that after they made the Sunlandic Twins, they definitely decided to take a more experimental turn. Like, you've got the Sunlandic Twins in 2005, you've got Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer in 2007, and that's where they started to turn from indie pop to more experimental terms. I should have said that a lot of the songs on here are very experimental pop as well. I see a little bit of Coco Rosie coming through here, because I think Coco Rosie is a tiny bit experimental with... Well, Coco Rosie's freak folk, so it's not massive comparison, but they do have a similar sound in sort of like random sounds and stuff like that. So I do think they're kind of both a little bit similar. But yeah, this is more experimental. Sunlandic Twins is more non-experimental. It's straightforward indie pop. But yeah, this one takes the more experimental turn, which I do like and dislike at the same time. I like it because a lot of the songs are really good and catchy and memorable, but I also don't like it because it makes it kind of hard to get into the songs. Like with the Sunlandic Twins, the Sunlandic Twins, some of them you just can't get into. I think it's because some of them kind of, again, melt into each other, but not like a melt into each other like this album, where it's like good that they melt into each other. The other one, it's kind of bad that they melt into each other because you can't really tell which song is which, and they kind of all sound a little bit like the same. This one, like, you could argue that these all sound the same, but like I think they all have like their own sounds. But yeah, I do probably prefer this one because there's more songs I like than the Sunlandic Twins. Like, I mainly got the Sunlandic Twins because I was listening to it like a few times. Like, I was listening to Wrath Into the Mist and other games like a load. Although I'm going to say that there's also an EP on the Sunlandic Twins which I really like. But this is just one singular album, obviously. And do I think this one drags a little bit? it does drag a little bit. There is a lot of songs and it's a little bit hard to sit through. But if you're just casually kind of listening to it, or even properly listening to it, or actually I do properly listen to this album sometimes when I'm like sewing or sleeping. It's a good chill sort of album for sleeping. There's quite a few of like CDs in my collection that are just not fit for sleeping too. But yeah, I really do like this album. I definitely recommend it. Is of Montreal. Well, of Montreal is a little bit popular, so you've probably heard of the song, maybe? I don't know. But it is a really good album, and yeah, you should try it. So that will be all. Yeah.